Hi, my name is Dario Bonin. I'm a licensed home inspector in Alberta, and I'm with Canadian Residential Inspection Services. You can visit me at my website, which is www.darioinspects.com, or I can be reached at 403-620-1613. What I do is I come into a home, whether it be a townhouse or single attached dwelling, and I inspect that home. Now, a home is normally made up of a group of systems that work together. For instance, the exterior of the home, which is called the building envelope, is one system, and what that does is protects the house against the weather. Another system would be the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. This is designed to keep the house comfortable. Now, these systems work together in concert with each other. So when I come into a house, what I will do is I will check each of these systems separately, and I will also check these separate systems because some of them work in concert with each other. I'll check to make sure that they're working together. I look for defects. I also check the general condition of the home. I will also look at preventative maintenance things, that if you do these things, it will save you money in the long run. A question that I am often asked at the end of an inspection is, does this house pass inspection? When I do an inspection, I don't pass or fail a house. What I do is I evaluate the general condition of the house, and after inspecting and evaluating the condition, I will give you as a client some of the recommendations on what needs to be fixed and how soon it needs to be fixed. And I leave that information with you to make that decision. It's sort of like if you were looking at a car and that car was a perfectly good car but had a cracked windshield and one bald tire. So you as an individual need to make the decision of whether or not you want to fix the tire and the windshield and buy the car, or just walk away and look at a different car. And that's what I do, is I just leave it with you, and from that point, Hi, one of the questions that I'm often asked is what's included in an inspection? So to answer that, I'd like to go through what you as a client would receive at the time of the inspection. As I had said before, an inspection covers a group of systems that work in a house, and some of these systems are, for instance, the exterior, which covers the drainage around the house, the land, which is the landscaping, the water control from the roof, your downspouts, decks, sidewalks, all those kinds of things. And also in this report, there's illustrations that I will, during the inspection process and the presentation, use the illustrations to clarify to you what it is that I've seen. I'll check the foundation to make sure that the foundation has no large structural cracks, any potential water leakage spots, to make sure that it is in good shape. I will also check the roof and the chimneys. When I'm on the roof, I'll make sure that the roof covering is in good shape, try to give you a little bit of a lifespan. I'll make sure that any of the holes that are through the roof for vents, chimneys, etc., that the flashings, all that kind of protection has good integrity, won't allow water in. I will check all the doors and windows and make sure that they operate properly, that they're not broken or defective, and then also that the flashings on the outside of the windows aren't diverting water inside to the walls or anything like that, creating mold issues or other moisture issues. I'll check your electrical system. And what I do is I go into your panel, I make sure that you don't have any oversized breakers, that there's no double tapping, which is a potential source of fire. I'll identify what kind of wiring it is that you have, or that the house has, I should say, and I'll make sure that it's not overcrowded and it can actually provide proper service for the size of home. I'll check the plumbing. I'll take a look at your water heater. I'll identify the age. Most of the time it can, sometimes it's impossible, but most of the times I can identify the age. I'll give you the general condition of the water heater, the life expectancy. I'll identify the kind of plumbing. I also will look for any kind of potential leaks at all the different fixtures to make sure that you're not getting water damage inside the house. I will check your heating system, and now the heating system, I'll make sure that you're having the fresh air makeup that is required, the general condition of the furnace, make sure there's no corrosion or carbon monoxide. Try to give you a little bit of a life expectancy of what that furnace will, how long it will last. I'll check the heating, ventilation, and insulation, and so what I'll make sure that all your bathroom vents, your kitchen fans, any other, if you have an air recovery system, that it's all ventilating outside correctly. When I'm up in the attic, I'll make sure that it's properly vented to get rid of moisture so that you don't have moisture problems and mold problems up in the attic. I will also check the structural integrity of the roof framing, the level of insulation, and try to identify that vapor barrier. In the interior of the home, I'll check to make sure that you don't have any large cracks that could be structural issues, that your floors are level, make sure all your doors are opening and closing properly. And that pretty much covers, and also if there's some things that aren't covered in the main body of the report, then I will comment on them. And again, I'll give you some recommendations for maintenance. Quite often I'm asked is how much does a home inspection cost? Anywhere between $400 to $600, and that depends on what kind of services are provided. I use a thermal image camera, which is an expensive, sensitive tool. I use all the different moisture meters. Another question that I'm also asked is how long does it take? An average home inspection should take about 3 hours. It takes quite a while to go through all these systems, and any thorough inspector will take at least that long, and it's worth your while to allow them to do that because it's for your benefit. One of the things that you could ask is, what should I do if you proceed to purchase the home? What is one of the first things that you should do after that? Is I would follow up on any of the preventative maintenance recommendations that the home inspector has made, because they will save you money and time in maintenance down the road. Thank you.